What's up, everyone? So, today we are going to talk about who would someone with borderline personality disorder, aka BPD, rather date? Would they rather date someone who's a narcissist or someone with avoidant attachment style? And I'm not picking on BPD. Let's be fair. Anybody could end up dating a narcissist or someone with avoidant attachment style. It happens every day. So, we're going to look through the lens of BPD and just see which one do you think they would enjoy more or could handle better. And I hope by the end of this video that I've given you my clearest opinion of which one and why. And I think it's important to think about things like this because we have to explore it because it helps us to learn about people with BPD better and also learn about other people that they could potentially end up dating and whether it would work or why not. So I think with narcissists and BPDs, they can both be hypersensitive at times. Like they can be very sensitive to slights. They can go off. They can get really upset about really small things. BPD, because they're always looking for, are you going to abandon me? Are you going to leave me? So are you picking on me? Or is this a threat? Like, are you saying something that's going to make me want to, like, fear that I'm saying something wrong to you, so now you're going to leave me. So they don't want to offend that person. The narcissists can be the same way because they want to have this perfect image so they can twist things, they can misinterpret words and phrases and things that you say to them, and they can get all upset. So when you have these two dynamics in place, they could have some pretty fiery arguments. Narcissists can be very insulting, so they can really go for the jugular. Like they can say some really mean, insulting things, and they can get irritated with the borderline's clingy style. But narcissists also want somebody who's going to be the extension of them. You're my arms, you're my legs. You are somebody that I can always count on because I like to exploit people, use people, and I also kind of want a crutch, somebody to always lean on to make sure that I can do all the things that I want to do, that I can accomplish all my tasks. I might have a deep insecurity that I need filled. So I'm going to be leaning on the borderline a lot to be the extension of me for my every need. And I think borderlines can be like overly attentive because they want to be close. They would probably be closer to an anxious attachment style, even though they're totally different things. But they're gonna want to cling to that narcissist. I think the narcissist might get frustrated with them after time goes on because they will feel like, what are you doing? What kind of decisions are you making? Are they very like high level decisions or just the neediness? I need you to focus on me, but you have lots of needs that you need met as well. And I don't have much empathy, like I struggle with empathy. So I'm not going to cater to your needs. I don't give a care about your tears, about why you're upset, about your fears. Like I have no compassion for you at all. Now, here's the thing about someone with avoidant attachment style. You might say, well, they can be cold and icy, but they do have feelings. They do care about people. They do have compassion. They do have a well-developed empathy system. So it's not that they can't have empathy or caring for people, but they tend to pull away a lot. They tend to want distance. They tend to want to get away from people and need space and feel overwhelmed by any type of closeness, especially over time. So they may start off like being like, hey, I'm enjoying this. We're in a relationship. I think you're amazing and special. But as time goes on, they're going to want that person to get away from them because it's too much. So they're kind of opposites of what a borderline wants. There are some borderlines who are independent. They like their alone time. So it really depends. But generally, that would be the quiet borderline. But generally speaking, they're going to want to be right under that avoidant attachment style. So they could attract each other for that very reason so that they can fight about get away from me. No, I want to come close to you. Get away from me. No, I want to come close to you. So that poses a problem. So I could definitely see the narcissist and the borderline having some screaming matches, but so could avoidant attachment style and borderlines. And right now, avoidant attachment style is a hot topic. People don't understand them. Which one do you think borderline personality disorder would choose? So neither pairing is ideal, but the dynamics between these personalities can make one option more likely than the other. So let's kind of go through it again. So at a quick high-level look at the dynamics, people with borderline personality disorder, BPD, often struggle with intense fear of abandonment. They have a strong desire for closeness, emotional sensitivity, rapid shifts between idealization and disappointment. So they'll put you on a pedestal and then they're like, why are you not, like, now I can't stand you. So because of this, they tend to be drawn to relationships that feel intense, validating, and emotionally engaging. So let's look at BPD and the narcissist. This pairing is very common, actually, even with friendships, not just romantic partners, but it's also very unstable. So let's talk about why these two might be drawn to each other. Narcissists often come on strong at first, charming, confident, and attentive. That initial love bombing can feel incredibly validating to somebody with BPD. The BPD partner's emotional intensity can make the narcissist feel admired or important. So why does it become difficult? Narcissists tend to withdraw empathy when criticized. BPD partners often need reassurance and emotional attunement. So the cycle becomes idealization, conflict, to withdrawal, panic, reunion, repeat. This dynamic can feel intoxicating, but it's usually painful for both people. So let's look at BPD and avoidant attachment style. This pairing is also common, but for different reasons. So why might they be drawn to each other? People with avoidant attachment style are calm, independent, and emotionally restrained. That can feel safe or grounding to someone with BPD, at least at first. The avoidant partner may appreciate the BPD partner's passion and expressiveness. Talk about why it becomes difficult. Avoidant partners pull away when things feel too close or intense. BPD partners panic when they sense distance. This creates a push-pull cycle. BPD wants closeness, avoidant withdraws. BPD escalates, avoidant withdraws more. This pairing often feels like chasing someone. So which one would someone with BPD rather be with? If we're talking about what feels good initially, many people with BPD are more drawn to narcissistic partners because they offer intense attention early on. They mirror admiration and validation. They create a sense of emotional spark. But if we're talking about what feels safer or more stable, many people with BPD may prefer someone with avoidant attachment because they're less volatile, they don't escalate conflicts, they feel predictable and controlled. Neither pairing is easy, but the type of difficulty is different. I think a BPD might get more juice out of the narcissist because they might like that volatility, right? I have worked with people, a lot of people who have avoidant attachment style. They're cold, they're icy, they're closing their door, don't bother me. They look at you. I mean, a lot of them won't engage. And I've seen a couple of borderlines come in to play, and the borderlines absolutely hate it. I've seen the borderlines transfer really quickly because they're not getting their needs met. They're absolutely not getting their needs met. Avoidant attachment style is not going to meet their needs. And I've heard avoidant attachment style say, I've helped them. I have gone above and beyond for them. But their above and beyond is like a crumb from a cookie. Like, it's not much. You're not going to get much out of it. Okay, so they don't do well with avoidance because avoidants are great at not meeting anyone's needs. I'm not saying that they never meet anybody's needs, but they don't meet that deep relationship, romantic, that's a huge struggle. Even with somebody who doesn't have BPD, they feel like they're suffering with an avoidant. So I have seen people borderlines just completely fade and just feel totally empty around somebody with avoidant personality disorder. So if you want to calm a borderline or silence a borderline, pair them with an avoidant. Because, and I'm just saying, like, for in the workplace, that the tactics and the what looks like manipulation, it just doesn't work on them because they're not going to engage. It doesn't matter tantrums, whatever. They're going to be very cold and icy and stick with their avoidant style, which is, I've done all I can for you. I don't know what you want. You're not getting it whether you want it or not, whether you want attention or not. It's like trying to squeeze water out of cheese or out of a stone. You're just not going to get any water out of it, no matter what antics or things that you try, no matter how you beg, plead. They're not going to connect. So I think they would get more from a narcissist because for some borderlines, any attention is better than no attention. So if they had to pick, they would pick the narcissist in that situation because they might get yelled at. They might get talked down to. I listened to this couple talk the other day on a video, and I was like, wow. I was thinking, this lady is putting her husband down so much, and she was very smooth with it and very subtle with it, but like, her husband has gray hair, gray beard, gray hair. She said, people think my husband is so much older than me, and they're newlyweds. People think my husband is so much older than me, but he isn't. He's younger than me. It's his gray hair. Well, he had told her a couple of weeks before that he wanted to color his gray hair, and she absolutely went into a very small rage. She didn't act crazy, but she was very insistent that he keep that gray hair because I like your gray hair. So narcissists can subtly insult people. He also told the story about how he was trying to act cool with some younger guys, and she was like, babe, act your age. It's okay to be old. Just subtle insults. So I could see them. I think, and the guy is not a borderline or a narcissist or anything like that, But it's like narcissists know how to needle people and really upset them. So I can see borderlines and narcissists having a very volatile relationship, but they might feel like at least I'm getting some attention. Whereas the avoidant attachment style is just, not to say that they won't meet their needs, because they may do other things to meet their needs. Like there are some avoidant attachment styles who might clean up the house, or they might do chores for, I mean, I'm calling them chores, but they might wash your car or cook dinner. But they also might be like, don't sit next to me on the couch. Don't come in here. I'm watching TV. I'm doing things by myself. I don't want to engage with you. And relationships are about engaging and interacting and connecting and being romantic, and avoidance can struggle with that. The question isn't just which pairing works, but why certain people are drawn to certain emotional worlds in the first place. When you look closely, the patterns say as much about our deepest longings as they do about our fears. And once you start noticing those patterns, it becomes impossible not to wonder what they reveal, not just about relationships, but about ourselves. There's a whole story still unfolding beneath the surface, and the most interesting part is just beginning. So, hey, beautiful people. Thanks for watching. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments and what topics you want me to explore next. Your feedback means so much to me. Let's keep this adventure going. Don't break up with me. Be sure to subscribe and like the video. Check out my books on Amazon for insights on enhancing your love life, navigating narcissistic personalities, and exploring the 16 Myers-Briggs personality types. Links are in the description. You're amazing, and I can't wait to see you on the next video.